So, Larry Williams, it's such a pleasure to sit down with you today. We're speaking virtually. I know you're in Montana. We're here in the Seattle area, but it's really good to chat with you on screen here.
Well, I've been looking forward to this. I mean, what you guys have done in the past in StockCharts.com and what you're doing now is just blowing people away. This is such an easy approach for the average guy, any place in the world to access market data. It's amazing. I'm just floored by what you guys and gals have done. It's amazing.
Larry, I made sure we hit record before you made that comment. So thanks so much. Thanks so much for the kind words. I think, I think it's safe to assume that most people, if not everyone, is familiar with you and your work. But I'd love for you to just speak to how do you hope people think of you and how you're trying to empower investors? How would you describe your approach to trading and how should that resonate with people?
Dave, I think my approach is a bit eclectic in that I try to combine fundamentals with technicals. I think a lot of technical analysis, mumbo jumbo, a lot of fundamental analysis won't get you any place. It's just overwhelming. I've tried to combine the two. My basic idea has been this. You find a setup condition, that's fundamental. Fundamentals cause markets to move. Then the technicals are the timing, the swings along the way. That's where technical analysis is really good to get in, to get out, but it's not a setup tool. So I break my tools down into setup tools and timing tools. And I think that makes a complete package versus just more indicators to put on your chart. We have enough indicators. What we have to have is indicators that have a specific purpose. Each indicator serves a specific function to tell us about the markets. That's what my indicators are. And as you know, I've been doing this for almost 60 years now. So these are my products. They're the way I look at the market. They're not just a rehash of other people's indicators. They're things I've found in my few years of trading.
Yeah. And it's fantastic. And I love how you're speaking to that relationship between the fundamental and the technical. And I know from working with institutional investors, that is, I mean, that is absolutely how they would approach things. I think, it would behoove many individual investors to sort of embrace that as well. Can you tell us, you spoke about your indicators, and we're super excited that our ACP platform is beginning with, with your plugin, with your starter pack. What can you tell us about some of the indicators in that package? What could people expect looking at your plugin here?
Well, the fundamental indicators I get so excited about, they're a little boring to some people, but what I think is really neat about them, we have a valuation model. So we now can absolutely tell if a stock or a commodity, which is where I developed the work originally, is overvalued or undervalued, not overbought, oversold. That's technical analysis, but is there real value here? Now, this is not a timing tool. It just says Amazon's overvalued now. So we better be careful of it. Or if I want to buy Costco or some stock, I want to buy whatever it is, Facebook, I want to wait until it's that undervalued zone because I have a much better probability of moving higher. So that's one type of fundamental indicator that we use. I also look at insider buying in the commodity markets. We now, these people buy, we can apply their formula to futures. So we can now say, informed money is buying your stock. And if they're buying your stock, you probably want to buy. If they're not buying, you better be a lot more careful. And then you can then go to the technical indicators for your timing, for your entry into the market.
So if someone uses your plugin, right, with this great combination of value and then looking at timing and sort of combining the fundamental and the technical, what should a StockCharts user that adds your plugin expect to get out of it? What do you hope is the benefit that they would derive from using those set of tools?
Well, they're going to be able to screen to know if the stock, they're interested in a stock. Let's say the stock is IBM. They're going to know, is this the right time to buy it based on a seasonal pattern? Because we have my true seasonal pattern there. So is this when IBM usually rallies? They're going to know that. They're going to know, are insiders buying this stock right now or not? Because if you want to be a buyer of it, you'd like to be a buyer when the insiders are buying it. And then we can look at, is it overvalued or is it undervalued? Once we resolve the fundamental issues, this market's ready to move, or if you're long, maybe it's ready to move down, then we can go to the technical part and say, okay, what do we do? Where's my trailing stop? We have my will stop so we can see exactly where your trailing stop should be, because if we go below that line, it's a trend change. You better be careful. The market is now in a downtrend. If you're undervalued and the market's down and gets above the trend line, well, now you have a trend buy signal in an undervalued market. That's when you want to get long your stock. So it's kind of a complete package. It's going to tell us set up these markets, and then we're going to find our timing entries into the individual stocks or a market average. You can do it for either one of them.
That's fantastic. I think there's so much users can get out of your work and out of your plugin. So it's been a real pleasure, I think, for us at StockCharts to be working with people like you as we've been developing ACP over quite a number of years and getting to this point where we're now unveiling it to everyone. Can you tell us about your own experience using ACP? What are your impressions of the platform and how your indicators are a part of that?
Well, one thing I really like about what you guys are doing, I'm not the only guy in your stable. You've got some really great talent there. And I think that's good because when it terms of a trader or an investor, I think you need to find somebody who thinks like you do. Other people might not think like me. If they do right, good, then Larry's your guy. But if you go, I don't understand, William, find somebody that you do understand, then that's the teacher you can go to. So to have this sampling of other proven traders, I think is really wonderful. It's a great advantage to your viewers. Say, yeah, that's my guy. I like this guy. I like how he thinks. I understand that. So I think that's a huge advantage that you offer. It's like a smorgasbord of some of the greatest market talents around. So I might not be the guy for people, but one of these other people will be. So I think that's a real advantage that you bring to the table for your viewers. And I'm really proud to see that this is you're not selecting just one guy. It's like, hey, find the guy you like or gal, use that person.
Yeah, and you've hinted at a key point. We've definitely there's a reason why you are one of the people we're launching ACP with. We've definitely curated a group of experts, strategists, traders that we feel are really well equipped to help our users. Now we've been working with you, Larry, for a little while now. It's been fantastic, not just on your plugin, but on Stock Charts TV and other places. Can you tell me why are you partnering with Stock Charts?
Yeah, because I'm getting old. and and I see this whole revolution. I started with paper charts,
Yeah.
and then Bill Cruz got the idea of doing something called what eventually became TradeStation. And we went into computers and computer charts, and then everybody had software in their computer, really expensive. You got to bring data in, you got to bring all this stuff in, and then you guys come along with the ultimate solution online. You don't have to bring in the data. The data's there. You've got the indicators there. I mean, this is everything that a trader could want. It's a one-stop shopping, and it's low-cost shopping. What could be better for a trade? It's all there. And the problem with some of these softwares, you got to go online. You can't get it. It's not in your computer. And anytime I can get online, any place in the world, StockCharts.com. I can go there and get it. I can see what Larry Williams is thinking or somebody else is thinking, what they should be doing in the market. So the adaptability of it, the flexibility of it, I think this is the wave of the future. To have this stuff in the cloud, we can access it, come out of it. We don't have incredibly expensive data fees, data charges, high software charges. This
Yeah.
is going to revolutionize the business.
That's fantastic, and thanks for the kind words, Larry. So let me ask you this: we're recording this sort of mid-September. You mentioned applying this combination of fundamental and technical. Give us a quick rundown. Where do you see things right now for the broad markets? Right, the overall equity environment has been a series of strength, but all of a sudden you're getting rotation in the last week or two, and a lot of people are wondering whether this is the beginning of much further downside correction, or if this is the pause that refreshes before we resume to the upside. How would you answer that question at this point?
Well, big question. So I'll try to focus on things I think are most critical. It's now September 14th, I think, 15th, somewhere in that time period. We're going to see, I'm long the S&Ps right now. I expect to rally a little bit higher another day or two. This is done on a Tuesday. And then I think we're going to have a pretty good sell-off in this market. But it's not the start of a bear market yet, at least. Shortly before the election, or maybe right after the election, you're going to see a pretty good rally in this market. That's typical. It usually happens after an election. It doesn't matter what dirty dog gets elected. People are so happy to get rid of the television commercial, they buy stocks and the market's rally. We've got a good buy point coming up there. Then I'm going to get a little concerned because I see way too many people fundamentally trading the market that have no business in the market. P ratios are exorbitantly high. Yields are low. There's a lot of fundamental chinks here, but market tops don't just top like that. They're broad. As you know, Dave, from here, it's going to go on and on and on, bore you to death, then boom, down comes a decline. So I'm looking for a pretty good sell signal, but we still need more time for that to develop. So I'm still very bullish from the lows of earlier this year that, as you know, we called on StockCharts.com.
Absolutely right. So, Larry, this has been such a pleasure to catch up with you. Any final thoughts for our viewers as we wrap up this discussion on your ACP plugin?
Well, yeah, I've done a lot of thinking about what makes really winning traders. And one of the things of my thoughts is Tiger Wood goes out and hits a golf ball 6 hours a day, and we just look at a chart for a few minutes and make up a decision. I think paper trading is way underrated. To learn about the markets, you go out and drive golf balls 6 hours a day. You learn how to hit a golf ball. We rush into this stuff because it's so emotional. That we need to study the markets more. So I'm devoting an hour a day, every single day. Like, I'm going to go back and look at these indicators in the past, my own emotions in the past. The more you study, because I believe that mastery is a function of repetition. The more you repeat something, the better you get at it. So just have one trade in the future, that doesn't do it for you. You need to study, and which is what I've done for almost 60 years, study the past, learn from it. And you can do that on StockCharts.com. So there's a lot of answers in the past that are going to help make the future a little easier.
Those are great words of wisdom for anyone, I think, at any stage in their investment journey, Larry. Larry Williams, thanks so much for joining us. Great to talk to you today, and we'll look forward to seeing great things from you on StockCharts.com more in the future.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with Stock Charts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.